and queens. This is Enhanced Holistically Tarot and Life Advice, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It's pretty late in the evening, but I did not want to forego the opportunity to do I guess, set you up for the week and let you know what the energies, what we're experiencing right now, what we're going through. I just want to bring attention to something I'm so excited about. So I finally got my rack I ordered for my tarot cards. So I have all of my tarot finally in an organized manner. Not that they weren't before, but they were more or less in a box. But as my resources and tools have grown, I needed more space, and so now I have a nice little display rack which I can look at them and try to get a feel for which cards we're going to be using, and really, really, really just have it there, right there. I love it. I saw a gentleman that had a rack, and I was like, I really, really need to get a tarot rack, and it just so happens that I was able to do that. Right now, I'm just looking at to see whatever else. Here we go. All right, so these are the three decks we're going to be using. We're going to do some animal power cards, of course. I'm going to use the Angel Abundance Oracle. Okay, and then I'm going to also use the Muse Tarot deck today, this evening. So it is September 13th, 2020. It's about 10 minutes to 10 o'clock at night here. However, like I said, I finally got back in town from being out of town this weekend. I had an awesome, relaxing, exciting, amazing weekend. And so I just wanted to be able to come home and unwind a little bit. And then, as the time is now, actually do a quick reading for you guys just to see what the energy for the week is kind of set at to be. All right. I can tell you that I've really been feeling a little bit, you know how you want something really, really bad, and then you have to, like anything, you have to wait till the timing, the synchronicities, the alignment lines up for in order for you to get that. So, of course, we're human, even though we know that we have to wait and be patient in the process, but all of us are human. And I've been finding myself kind of being a little bit impatient, which came along with a little bit of disappointment. However, I understand that as things have an ebb and flow, that I am to just fall in line with the ebb and flow. And I don't know what many of you are feeling this evening or have felt in this past weekend or what have you, but I just thought I'd share that because I do truly feel like we're all going through different experiences at different times, and that we are lent to just share and really understand that we're not the only ones going through stuff. I'm so sorry. Let me um I wanted to respond before it got late. I was talking to my friend and we had got not disconnected, but I wanted to make sure I answered her text because it is kind of late. I'm not gonna be able to talk to her anymore. All right. So anyway, before I even get into that, so I just wanted to encourage all of you that if you're waiting on something that you really want to manifest, and you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, I just ask you to just continue to tune in to spirit. Allow spirit to just give you direction and guidance and lead you towards that thing that you want to manifest, because all of us go through a period of being impatient, maybe discouraged. We all go through that. So I just want you all to just take note of that. It's okay. So I'm going to read maybe a couple of keys from the Manifesting You book by Brian Hyperlight. I hope I say his name correctly. So let's go ahead and see what these next couple of things say. Key number 18 says, choose patience and trust in the process. Oh God, we just finished talking about that, and I just turned right to it. Everything you have visualized, intended, prayed for, and worked for is the process of manifesting. It's in the process of manifesting. Remain centered and at peace, be strong, and continue to believe. When manifesting, always be specific about what you expect. That came right on point for me. I'm sure for you too. because we all have an expectation of something. And please excuse my voice. I had a very good time this weekend, so I exert my voice in enthusiasm. Okay, so I probably don't have much of a voice left. I kind of sound a little bit raspy, so forgive my voice. But going back to this excerpt, very true. All of us have an expectation. All of us want something to happen in the now, but we also understand that there's a process to be taking place. There's something along the journey. Someone we're supposed to encounter along the journey. Something we're supposed to learn from something along the journey. Someplace we're supposed to go along the journey. So let's just try to embrace it and be encouraged. Number 19 says, this is an evolution in your errors. What does this mean? She said, I'm kind of up now. Hold on, let me turn recording. Mm, we had a really good conversation, my friend and I, just talking about spiritual things. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm having the best time putting my energy where it goes. Like I could be watching TV right now and nothing's against watching TV, but there's something that's drawing me to be more in tune, to meditate, to take my spiritual baths, to do my readings. There's something more of a pull that's lending my attention to the things of the spirit versus the things that I could be using to entertain myself. Again, nothing's wrong with that. I'm not hyper spiritual at all. But I just felt like instead of watching TV tonight, I need to come and sit in my therapeutic space that I'm creating, my healing space, where I come and commune with spirit and do these readings for you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment. If this is your first time visiting my channel, my name is Tameka, and I'm here for you, boo. Let's go ahead and read key point 19. There is an evolution in your errors. This is not a race to perfection. You become a better player in sports by missing shots, and in the same way, you become a better person and a better spiritual being by missing the Mark. Uh, you then have the chance to come back to the gym, the court, or the field of life and practice your technique. Take every opportunity to develop yourself through trial and error, practice, and persistence. There is a magic in your missed shots and mistakes. So we talked about the process of in believing, and we talked about how I'm paraphrasing because this is my turn. You're perfect in your imperfections. I've said this before. Let's move on. All right. So we're going to start with the power animal card. And I do have need to get a tapestry cloth because as I go back and look at some of our videos, I realize that me being on this desk can be a little bit noisy sometimes. So y'all forget it right now until I order one and get it in, okay? Spirit guide, angels, ancestors, divine white light, thank you for your messages on this evening. For the collective, give us a message that will carry us through the week. Give us encouragement, guidance, foresight, insight. Thank you that we're forewarned, therefore we're forearmed. And thank you just for the love and support that you continue to give us to be on our highest vibration to our highest self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what are the messages that we have? What are the messages? For the power animal card, give us a message. Okay. We have the seal, imagination. And I'm going to read from the guidebook. It says, immerse yourself in artistic and creative expression. Let's read. I don't think we've ever had the seal before. 103, if you're following along with numerology or if it means something to you to know what the number is of the page. Okay, here we go. Immerse yourself in artistic and creative expression. Your subconscious mind is the playground of your imagination which waits to be called out by your willingness to unleash the bonds of your personal convention and societal restraint, to challenge and surpass the unusual limits you've placed on yourself regarding artistic expression. This means nothing less than to release your familiar sense of identity and stretch your boundaries of your creative mind. It's not a matter of believing or disbelieving that you have talent for any kind of creative pursuits. It's a matter of surrendering to the imaginative impulse that that's beginning to be expressed in some form. So drop underneath those restrictive beliefs and tap into this most natural drive toward creative artistic expression, perhaps something you've always wanted to do but have stopped yourself until now. Feel it in its depth and dimensions, then throw yourself into it, whether it's singing, dancing, painting, drawing, writing, or some other path. This food for your heart and soul. Don't put it off any longer. It's time to take that plunge. The additional associations are creativity, grace, adaptation, and playfulness. That is your push. Have we not been getting pushed in these last couple of weeks? Last week we talked about the raven. Last Sunday we talked about the raven. This Sunday we're talking about imagination and emerging yourself into your creative expression, whatever that might be for you. I keep hearing this phrase that we used to always say, return back to your first love. Some of you are being called to do that, and do not abandon, don't abandon the dream. Don't talk yourself out of what it is that you know you want to do. And that goes back to believing. We have to believe in what we're asking for. We have to believe we deserve it. Okay? So that's it. The seal. Imagination. And you know, if you think about a seal slips and slides anywhere and they land where they want to land. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Now we're gonna get into the angel of ooh. So this is the only one that flipped over. So we're gonna take that one. It falls right in line with what we just heard. It's safe for you to receive. And it says, the more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. Let's read about this. These are all of the universe's nudges to get us into a place of knowing that we deserve, that we have something to offer, that we're not to sell ourselves short, that we're not to fit into anyone's box, that we're to challenge ourselves, stretch ourselves, and know that we can all do so in our own power. So here goes. This card is here to help you recognize and overcome a block to abundance, namely worrying about how your prayers will be answered. Your worries are preventing you from opening yourself up to a flow of divine support, slowing the manifestation of your desires. Once you have expressed your prayers to God, trust that God will answer in the way that's best for everyone involved. If you are supposed to take action to help, you'll be clearly guided to do so by repetitive ideas, a gut feeling, or physical signs. God is omniscient, meaning that every possible variable of a situation is known and can be accounted for. That's good. We humans do not have the ability, so when we assume that we know best, we are not always seeing the whole picture. When we let go and let God, in contrast, we are signaling that our trust is in our divine creator. We believe that God will provide exactly what we need in order to fulfill our life purpose. We give permission to God to shower us with all those bountiful gifts that we can use to bring even greater blessings to the world. You know what, kings and queens? I really feel like what I started off saying, and I hope you can see this card because the lighting in here is not the best. I'm going to have to find a way to light this up a little bit better. I have a light. Why don't I use it? Anyway, it's way over there in the corner. I'm gonna do it right now. But I really feel as though that message was for us. It's for me because so many times we try to figure out the how, in the why that we miss the whole meaning behind why we are where we are and for what reason and purpose. So I feel like this is going to be a week of replenishment. Okay, if I might say that. I feel like it's going to be a week of replenishment. That everything that we felt energetically depleted about or for what, if we've been worrying about something, if we've been in a space of feeling as though we're stagnant, even though we're not, it's like you can feel stagnant in the most way that would make that you would feel that you want it to happen like right now, but not feel stagnant in other areas, and that's because you have the least resistance in those other areas. I sometimes listen to a collective consciousness called Abraham Hicks, and they always talk about being in the receptive mode. And when you're not focused so much on why it's not happening, how it's going to happen, when you finally release that energy, then you're open. Then the thing you've been asking for is able to come. And I'm gonna tell you, I totally get that it's hard to do that. It is difficult. But this is why we have tools to let us know that we're on the right track and that what we are wanting and desiring, it is being heard, and that the universe can see so much further than we can see right before our very eyes. Okay? That's a hell of a encouragement for the week. It really is. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Spirit. So now we're gonna get into the tarot and see what's going on. Okay. Okay. The Fool. Oh wow. And then what's crossing is the Ten of Voices. Huge. Wow. So I feel okay. This is so fitting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The Fool. If you see this young lady, she's walking to the edge of what seems to be a sand cliff, if you will. She's walking off into this bright light, which is to me indicative of walking into some type of illumination. But she's walking in faith. She's walking and not even probably realizing that she's about to fall off a cliff. But where she's falling into is going to be safe and secure for her. The Fool talks about taking risks, but not the type of risk to your detriment. It's more like taking the risk that's going to lead you to a higher perspective. It's going to put you in set you on your path to your destiny, allow you to fall back into your passions. Um, it's also saying like we have to believe. Like everything about this reading has about creative expression. In order to be creative, you have to allow yourself to kind of go. And it says quite naturally to fall into that. That's some in some part it said that. Okay. But what's crossing is the Ten of Voices or the Ten of Swords. So this is saying that in order to get to this faith, which is where we're wanting to be, I don't know. These both kind of came out both ways. So we can read it both ways. We can say that this is us, the fool, that we're trying to venture along having faith, and that this Ten of Voices right now is like trying to put us down. Not put us down in a bad way. It's trying to exhaust us to the point where we're just releasing and relinquishing all control. Does that make sense? Even if this was the other way around, even if this is where you are in trying to control a situation, the number 10 is indicative in the tarot as the number of completion. So you're at this point now where I can't go anymore. I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to just lay here and just be. Again, lay here and just be. And this is might where some of us are. And even if the fool was crossing us, the advice would be have faith. Have faith. Take that leap of faith. I don't know. You know, I'm going to put them side by side because I feel like um, that we really do go between this energy of, I believe it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. But then we exhaust ourselves trying to figure out, well, when? Well, how? Well, why is it not happening? Who's going to be involved? What am I supposed to do? I feel like we go back and forth in that energy. So the next card that's going to come out is actually what I want to say is going to be actually challenging us. which is the Queen of Emotions, just came out. The Queen of Emotions. And when you are in this in between phase of really not knowing where your footing is, you can be very emotional. You can be very emotional. I do feel like we are coming into the notion of that we need to be compassionate towards self. A lot of us are really realizing we need to actually focus on that self care. The ace of inspiration is in our subconscious. This goes a long way when it talks about the seal and the imagination and immersing yourself in your creativity and your expression. So, again, it goes back to knowing that we're in a space of we're going through these different levels, if I must say that. We're going through these different levels, and you know something is being birthed, but there's a certain level of growing pains and discomfort that comes with it that we don't know emotionally how to process it, but our energy knows that we are ready to process it. Does that make sense? I need some light. Hold on one sec. I hate to do this in the middle of a video, but I can't see myself, and I know that you can't see me either. So give me a second. I so apologize. But I just feel like I need to do this because it's kind of bothering me a little bit. And I want to be able to show the cards as they are being shown. So forgive me. I will not edit the video because this is real life for real. This is what happens. Hold on. I just think I need some light. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I gotta do better. I'm doing better with my videos, y'all. I really am. I'm getting all of my equipment and stuff set up. That's so much better. My husband bought me a ring light, and I just had it over in the corner. I was like, why didn't they cut it off? Let me get back because I was flowing. I feel like spirit is just like I feel like energetically, spiritually, we're ready to go to the next level, but we're just trying to still process the emotional aspect because we do live in this physical body, because we do encounter different energies around us. We do have to do a mundane day to day. We still have to go to work. We still have to go to school. We still got to raise children or whatever the case may be. It's just like you're still trying to find your footing in all of this. So even though you know there's something new on the horizon with your creativity, with a new project, whatever this case may be, and I feel a lot of us are really, our third eye is really starting to open that much more. I feel like the signs that we've been asking for, even though the thing, whatever the thing is, the very thing that you've been asking for, but it's also like spirit has been giving you just tidbits of nuggets to let you know it is going to happen. And again, I'm not far removed. Like when we are doing, well, at least me, I can't speak for every other reader, but there's a level of energy that is for us as well. It's not just always that you got to do this. You no, there's a level in each reading that is meant for us to glean from too, or at least me. So I really feel as though a lot of us is going through this levitation. That makes sense. This levitation where we know that we need to relax in certain things, but in other things we're still trying to research it. And this is very much the beginning of something much bigger than we could ever think. Um, One of my friends, I love her so much. She had asked the question, "Why now?" And I was so thankful to be able to give an intelligent answer because I wasn't trying to just have an answer, but spirit was like, why are we becoming more in tune now? Like what's going on? We're not complaining about it, but why now? And it's because it's like a pot that's being stirred up around us in the atmosphere, and you have no choice but to wake up. If you were already teeter-tottering on the moment of truth or walking into truth, true truth, real truth, authenticity, something authentic and true and rooted and grounded in truth. If you were already on the fence, this situation that's going on around us could do one or two things. It can push you overboard and allow you to really know. It's kind of like Neo in the Matrix. Are you going to take the blue pill or the red pill? I feel like that's where we are right now. If you are not awakened to knowing what's going on around you, and this all goes back to the reading, because in this atmosphere, we have to be more creative. Okay? People were losing their jobs, their businesses, and we're locked behind closed doors now more than ever. A little bit more restrictive, let me say that. You got to be more creative. You got to be more creative about how you make your money, how you sustain your money, how you manage your money, all the while fulfilling your passion and your purpose in this time. Come on, somebody, especially when you deal with people. Now we got to figure out ways to connect with people through virtual situations and platforms. This is where we are. We know we're there. So this is good. Thank you, Spirit. What else is going on? The Six of Voices. Okay. So this truly talks about coming upon that change again. All right. Having gone through a lot, looking over the edge. And this is in the most recent past as well. Okay. So I feel as though we have really been building a bridge is kind of what I see. Building a bridge. We're coming out of a change of mindset that maybe we once had. Some of the sacred cows we used to have. We're coming out of that, okay? And we're steadily growing. And so some of us are trying to figure out what is this shift that I'm feeling. That's what it is. It's a shift to a clearer consciousness, if you will. What else can we glean? Okay, the Three of Voices. So this talks about separation. It talks about some type of divide. It talks about some type of miscommunication. It talks about maybe you might be having some thoughts that maybe you're not really able to express. You might not be able to express yourself more clearly. Some people may feel as though they are isolated and going through this by themselves, maybe having some kind of heartbreak. Okay, but and we'll get a much clearer picture. But this is right now in the consciousness. So to me, this says I'm feeling this feeling of separation, okay? And it could be in a matter of a relationship, but I feel in concert with everything else that we've already talked about, you might be called to be separate right now. You may be called, again, I say this in almost every reading, you may be called to question some of your social surroundings, the people that you associate with, and that might cause you a little bit of heartache because you really have come accustomed and comfortable to being in a space of people or around specific people, but where you're going is not facilitating that group of people or that crowd. Not saying anything is wrong with it, but for some of you, it may just be a call to be separate. A lot of you are really feeling as though you may be going through a period of suffering in silence, I feel. And it might be because you don't feel like you have the creative expression, but yet the universe subconsciously is trying to put you in an activity or a mindset or perception that it will happen for you. Because again, we're having these wax and wane type energies going on. Some days we get up, we feel like doing everything, and some days we feel like sleeping a day away. I know I'm not the only one. If this is resonating with you, please, please, please comment in the description box. The Moon card. Okay, this is so clear, it's crystal. Shadow side. Shadow side. Okay, so with the energy of the moon, it's like you got to look at both sides. You got to look at the light that the moon illuminates, and you got to also look at the darkness that surrounds the light. Okay, if you will. So the energy of this three of swords voices or three of swords in the traditional tarot, it's like you're working on your shadow side. Okay, you're working on the energy that brings you down. But in order to work on the energy that brings you down, we got to get to the root of the matter. And this is where the moon comes in at. Because the moon does bring about a certain, it brings about a level of illumination, but allow you to kind of be shielded from anybody's opinions. And this is why you may feel isolated at times, or why you should isolate yourself at times. I wouldn't say isolate because that has a negative connotation. Maybe you should retreat sometimes. Okay? So the moon is causing for you to retreat so that you can get to the roots of what's stopping your creativity, what is hindering your growth, who is hindering your growth. Get a newfound perspective, okay? Let's see what else is going on. Get a newfound perspective. The five of emotions. Um, this is saying that I feel like I'm left out there. I'm left out there by myself. I'm isolated. Someone's left me out in the cold. But this is a temporal situation, though. This is, again, number five, going through that change. We're going through these changes. We're going through changes. We're going through a lot of changes. And sometimes changes don't feel good. And it looks to me like the moon is at the center of her chest. It looks like the moon is at the center of her chest, and all that's around her is frozen to a degree of a standstill. It's a freeze. This freeze can be used constructively or it can be used destructively. It's just a matter of what perspective and what energy you're going to lend to it. Okay? And because we don't know how to control the emotions of what we know, the transition is happening, that's where we need to tap into more of our spiritual gifts, our inspirations, getting back to the things, the first love of things that we used to do and love, because that shifts everything. It shifts when you get, if you used to sew, and that's to put your mind in a state of calmness and at ease, then that's what you're supposed to get back to. If you used to sing and you sung all the time, that's what you're supposed to get back to. If it puts you in a calm receiving state, that's what you're supposed to get back to. And sometimes that's the only that's the imagination right there. That's the imagination and creative expression that spirit is trying to get us back to. So why? So that we can receive. It's almost like, I hate to say hobby, because our hobbies, our creative expressions, they can be hobbies, but some of us, many of us, they're truly on the path of our life purpose. And I feel like if you let this freeze take you over, it can be destructive for you. Okay? You can feel very alone, isolated. You can feel all those different emotions. But let's keep going. I feel like Spirit is giving us every opportunity to let us know that even though we're feeling this way, that energy wise, we can shift that by getting back to the things that we know and love and taking risks. Okay. Some of you are being called to try something new altogether. It might not even be anything that you used to do, but it might be something that you're interested in, but just don't know how to go about it. And that might be the very thing Too many cards. That might be the very thing that unlocks this state of being in some type of inner turmoil. Okay? What else is your spirit? All right. So, the Eight of Voices. This is a feeling of feeling trapped. And this is the environment right now. This is truly environment. This is a feeling of feeling trapped, feeling again frozen. And I'm not I'm glad that spirit is exposing these feelings and emotions because you need to know that you're not going crazy. You need to know where you are. If you have not identified where you are, this is where you are. But the great thing in knowing where you are is knowing what you can do to change it. So I don't need to say, I don't feel like the need to say any more about this being in your environment because I feel like what's already been shown has shown where we are energetically. However, the inspiration, hope, and fear is that we have a brand new beginning. Okay? We have a brand new beginning. And there are so many, so there's there's a lot of voices. There's a lot of different thought processes. So there's a lot of thought processes and emotions to influence those thought processes. And now spirit is saying, okay, let's come out. Let's come out. Let's come out of the mindset that we have maybe been toiling with, and let's dance again. Let's get there. Let's get back there. Let's take the first step to get back there. Okay? This is spirit giving you. I know where you are, but this is what I want you to do now. Now it's time to get up. Get up, get moving. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Change your circle. Get back in touch with yourself, with your loves, your whatever it is that you used to like to do, love to do, enjoy doing. It's time to get back onto that. Okay? Because there's enough shit, you guys, to distract us. The Ten of Emotions. This is the outcome. The outcome is the Ten of Emotions. The emotional fulfillment that we're seeking is right here. The Ten of Emotions is also the Ten of Cups in traditional tarot. So being that this is the outcome, let us know that we know where we are. We know what it is that spirit is trying to push us into. And if we handle ourselves the right way, then we can get here. We can get here to the completion of love and support that we're seeking. We can get to the alignment of our soul path purpose, lining up with the surety or the assuredness of our emotional being so that we can carry out the things that we love. Or going back to something that we used to love to do in order to be fulfilled so we can get to the highest purpose and calling. I'm going to pull out Ask Your Guide and I'm going to read it just to seal everything up because we've already went over the 30 minutes, but it's well worth it. I feel like it sets the tone because we are coming out of the energy of why and how, and we're just going to walk into the newness. We're walking into the newness side. That's what we're going to do. Thank you, Spirit. Competition. What's this about? Warrior Gods. Number 17. Let's see. You know, even without even reading this, it's like a tug of war within self. This is what this energy has been. Tug of war within self. Let's read it. 17. Okay. 17. Competition warrior guides, strife, arguments, conflicts, and battle. This is a time of conflict and challenge, pure and simple. No matter how you look at it, confrontation and discourse are on the horizon. Others don't agree with you and see your perspective, and they don't intend to cooperate with you in any way. This could surface in such serious ways as legal battles, divorce proceedings, and contract negotiations, or it could be an impasse with a spouse. Sorry, give me a moment. With a spouse over a raised toilet seat. What? Whatever the issue, there is no immediate or easy resolution. You've attracted a worthy opponent, so prepare to go the distance. This is not to assume, however, that such combative scenarios are always a bad thing. Your warrior guides are present to enlighten you about the benefits of sparring with others. Competition brings out your best and unleashes your passion and commitment in what you believe in. It develops your strength and prevents you from being victimized or manipulated by others. And it teaches you the need to respect others too and not mindlessly impose your will on them. Your warrior guides suggest that when you do battle with others, it's best to fight fairly and learn from the conflict. Don't compete just to let off steam. Fight for progress and higher understanding for all concerned rather than just being difficult to get your own way. Hidden within the drama of battle and competition are the seeds of true understanding and compassion. The best spiritual warriors always strive for a win-win situation. Your warrior guide suggests that you embrace the battles at hand to find your strength and reach for growth. Fight the good fight with your adversaries, but pray for divine justice and prevail. Not just your personal version of justice, their message. Fight fair, but concede when you are in the wrong. All right, that is it. I don't got nothing else for you. So, what is the law of attraction that we want to attract this week? This is truly the last card. It's the last one. That warrior guide, to me, I know it talked about a lot about another person, but my intuition tells me as it relates to the rest of this reading that it's more about the inward battle that you have with yourself. Okay? It's more about I can't get this card off the table. It's more about the inward battles and restrictions that you have been feeling within self. Okay? Because it's all been here. You got the five of emotions. You got the eight of voices here. But the hope and fear is in the new beginning, and then your outcome was the 10 of emotions or 10 of cups. So I feel as though this might have been the energy that you might have had inwardly more so than with another person. So many times we want to act like we want to put out there, and I'm not saying anything against the description, but how it marries and how it aligns according to what I feel is more or less about the inward battle that you have and the warrior that has to come out of that inward battle. Okay, what is the law of attraction card? Flexibility. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions. Flexibility. And this, again, it goes with not so much trying to investigate the why as much as it's trying to investigate how you're supposed to just be in a situation. Can't say no more. I've enjoyed this reading with you guys. I pray that something has been said to encourage you for the week. Please, please, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And also leave comments in the description box if this reading has resonated with you. If you feel led to leave a tip, please do so. My information is in the description box. Or if you would like a more personal reading, please see the email address to email me so that we can set up a good date and time. I do virtual readings for those that are not close nearby me, of course. So please do take advantage of that. Love you all so much. Until we see each other again, Ashe.